everybody. How's it going out there? It's Ukraine Update here with the Shills. We've got a packed house. We've got an awesome show coming up for you, but sadly, we do have to mark 2 years of the Russian invasion of the sovereign lands of Ukraine. That's what we're marking today. That's what's going on today. We've got... as you can see, I had a circle for Pete, but he's actually with Greg. So let's just bring you guys right in. We got Greg Terry. Of course, you know him from the Greg Terry Experience, and he's got Pete from Project Konstantin. I'm going to fuck that up. So let's just bring Pete in, and he will tell us, because that way I don't ruin everything for people.
Konstantin, Project
Thank
Konstantin.
you. Okay.
Good evening, brother.
So, hope you guys are well.
Hope you guys are well.
We're hoping you guys are well. So now, I wanted to start off right away with a little video that Pete put out that just happens to have blown up all over Twitter X, and you're going to see why. So this is who the man is, so you know who we're talking to about, fellow babies. This is passion. And let's see if I can hit the button. There we go.
I'm ashamed to be a Westerner. I'm ashamed to be a Westerner. I'm talking to
Greg, we cannot hear
I'm talking to Western governments today.
I muted this on purpose.
On behalf of my Commander-in-Chief, President Volodymyr Zelensky of the sovereign, peaceful nation of Ukraine, I'm absolutely ashamed to be a Westerner today. What in God's name do you think you people are doing, drip feeding and delaying this desperately needed ammunition for Ukraine? What are you trying to achieve? Do you not know that God sees everything that you are doing? Do you think there are 77 virgins in paradise waiting for you? There ain't, mate. There ain't. There is no paradise like that. Tens and tens and tens of thousands of civilians have been butchered and are being butchered in this genocide, and yet you people just dilly and dally and pussyfoot around. God help me, I'm ashamed to be a Westerner. I'll stop calling myself South African because that shitty government aligned themselves with Putin. Everybody in this country asks me where am I from, and I say I'm British. I'm talking to all Western governments today. I'm a medic in Ukraine, and we are shitting ourselves over here. The fucking front line is crumbling left, right, and center. How dare you dilly and dally like this? Imagine these were your children being butchered out here. Put yourself in Ukrainian shoes for once. Get your act together, man. Your policies and your bullshit. Fucking support this country. We are being terminated, exterminated. I'm ashamed to be a Westerner.
Well, I think that says everything you need to know about the man. Welcome to the show, Greg.
Hey, thank you.
Welcome to the show, Pete. We're glad to have you guys.
Thank you, Dick. It's a pleasure to be here, sir. Thank you for having us on. Thank you for having me.
So I wanted to...
Rick.
Well, I want to turn to Rick White right away here because I know he has something that he wanted to bring to the table. And, you know, this is the 2-year mark. So I'm sure knowing Rick the way we do, he's got something to say.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Rick.
Happy to be here, as always, and glad to see Greg and Pete in one room. Greg is always rolling around Ukrainian front line, and he's meeting friends in person. And I really love that style. I really like what that amazing man is doing and how he's helping his friends. You see, Pete is happy to have him around, and yeah, Pete is constantly saying that he loves that man, and yeah, that man is hard not to love. I will.
Beautifully said, brother. You nailed it. He's hard not to love.
Okay, so now what I wanted to put on the table, as Dick said, that. Today's 24th of February, it's 2 years anniversary. And though Free Azov rallies, meetings, peaceful protests are happening on Sundays. This time they did it on Saturday, and I went there, and it was remarkable. A few hundred people were there, definitely, maybe 1,000 people. You can watch all of this if you miss the stream. You can find it on my channel. Dick, I also asked Dick to add it to the description of the stream. I was doing it together with Lila Trohimets. She is a volunteer, and she does an amazing job visiting the wounded soldiers of Ukraine. And she, together with other girls, volunteers, they are constantly coming to hospitals, gifting fruits to our soldiers and giving them company, just being there with them and talking to them, and just doing some normal stuff, and that really supports them a lot. And what girls are telling us, that it actually supports them a lot too, because they see that our soldiers are not demoralized. They are full of energy. They want to come back to the front line. They want to keep fighting, and they're joking. They're just laughing, and I think it's just amazing how it works and how that exchange works. So together with Lila, she was a amazing co-host of that stream and helped me a lot. And there was really something to see. There is something to see there, guys. Stream was in a good quality, but YouTube, for some reason, doesn't want me to upload the HD for the last 8 hours. So, guys, a shitty quality of the recording, but you can still see the writings on the signs that people are holding, because they are usually big letters. So even pixel-ish, you will be able to read most of it. And actually, those that are written in Ukrainian, I translated them live, so I will tell you what is written on each. There's a huge cat, guys. It's like half of my size there. A black cat that one of the Lila's volunteers is carrying. Alina,
It's
her
not a
name
raccoon.
no, that one was totally black. So unfortunately, no. Maybe they've painted the raccoon.
Trash
And
And Rick is so massive, by the way.
oh yeah.
And I was down at the other end on Mikhailovsky filming a little vlog that I did that I posted on my YouTube channel about the 2-year anniversary and the 10-year anniversary and kind of where we are. And then when I was walking back, I didn't go to the Azov assembly on Sovietsky, but I certainly heard it. And then as I was walking back, I was lucky enough to catch up with Rick, and we did a little bit of I was able to do a little bit of the stream with him, and I chatted with Lila about this aspect of going to these places where there are wounded Ukrainian soldiers. And notably, I went to the Superhuman Center in Lviv, and it's remarkable that there's no sense of depression. There's no sense of despair or woe is me or, oh, I lost. I mean, these guys are, without legs and arms and stuff, and they're not, they're not feeling sorry for themselves. They're not wallowing in. They're really, in a very strange way, positive places to go and visit, because these guys are showing this spirit and this resilience that's humbling to bear witness to. So I got a chance to do a little bit of the stream with Rick and talk to Leila, and that was really nice to do. But then I also have a little announcement that I made, and part of the reason I did it on the 2-year anniversary, and you can check it out on my vlog. I've been working for the last, I don't know, well, the idea came to me many years ago, before the war even, but for the last few weeks I've just decided to do it, to initiate the project, and I'm launching a podcast that I'm going to call On the Edge, and I've rented out I'm leasing an office space here in central Kiev, where we're going to put soundproofing in and turn it into a proper audio
cool.
podcasting studio. And we're hoping to get, some big names, and we're going to do remote interviews as well as personal interviews. But we'll try to bring high production value to it, and try and keep Ukraine in the news, because despite the fact that a bunch of news teams, CNN is here, NBC is here, they've come back for the 2-year anniversary. But are they going to be here in 2 or 3 more
That's
weeks?
right. Yeah.
I don't think so.
Phil, I went to audio engineering school and lived the life for years and years. So if there's any expertise I can provide in helping and whatnot,
I will take you up
please,
on it.
Yeah,
I
let
will
me
take
know.
you up on it. Absolutely. Yeah.
His voice is melting
I'm
me. What
excited
about
about
you?
it.
Yeah, I love his voice.
I mean, I'm just like,
I'm captivated.
I'm about ready to give Dick a kiss.
Right here, baby. Right
Oh,
here.
that sounded a bit weird, but
Hold on, let me get this screen record going. Hold on a minute.
That's a little bit weird.
Well, look, after I open up the podcast, we'll open up an OnlyFans.
exactly.
Now we're talking big dollars, big donations.
In their image of their mind.
Okay, Phil, you were talking about inviting some big names. What about not so big names? Maybe some smaller names.
It's all good. Yeah, the more the merrier. Let's just try and keep it in people's consciousness. I don't.
Big name.
Yeah,
That's a big
that's
name.
exactly right.
Because they're going to leave, man. I know. I worked in the broadcast news industry for over 20 years, nearly 25 years. They're going to leave. They're not sticking around. They came for the 2-year anniversary. They've come in they parachuted in for 2 or 3 weeks, 4 weeks at the max.
Yeah.
And then they're going to leave again, because the new shiny object is down in Gaza and Israel, where they already have infrastructure.
Mm-hmm.
And they're gonna.
That's a good
this
point.
Is not everybody, but the news industry has come here for one specific reason. They are not constantly manned here anymore. They have, you go to the Intercontinental Hotel, which I mentioned in my vlog, and it used to be that you couldn't swing a cat but to hit a journalist. And since Gaza, it's totally off the radar. So let's try and counter that as best we can.
Even
That's my
early,
intention.
Phil, even early in the war, when I was running aid, and I'm on my 9th month now running aid to the front, to the zero line, and I had a guy reach out to me. His name's Andrew Kimmel, and he is actually an executive producer in Hollywood for Shark Tank and Big Brother and all these things there. And he messaged me through my YouTube channel, and at that time I was really small and not doing much. And he says, "Man, I see you're legit." And honestly, I thought it was a goofball. And so I messaged him back, and I said, "Okay, well, thank you." And he goes, "Well, I'm in Kyiv, and I'm trying to get to the front lines because I really want to do a real story, and this is who I am." He sent me all these links, and I said, "Okay, well, send me your passport." And he did. He sent me his passport. I said, "Okay." He goes, "Could you take me on your next run?" He goes, "Because right now the media is basically lying to the world, because half of the guys will take a quick run somewhere near the front, but the rest of the time you triggered something in my mind there, Phil." He said they're literally standing in front of a green screen in the Intercontinental half the time, doing half of their report from there. He goes, "This is a joke, and I want to tell the real story." So he got on a train, came to us, and we took him on a 10-day, and now he's been doing spreading our message for us there in LA and other places, trying to keep the message out. Really a great guy. All he wanted to do was help.
Love it.
And it's a mess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Did
it
he
is. Our
release?
news industry is in trouble.
Did he release some video or documentary about that run?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Can you drop Dick a
I'll
link?
get it.
Yeah.
I don't have. Listen, I'm over here in no man's land right now. I'm literally looking into a little camera. My computer's here. I don't have any bells and whistles with me right now. But yeah, I can get it, Rick.
Okay, thank you. Because if
you'll DM me his contacts with his permission, I wouldn't mind talking to him as well, because if he wants to do more, I've got nearly 20, 30 years in the business.
Yeah,
we'll do. He's really he's legit.
Great. Well, that's the difference though. It's now down to people who are self-motivated to do this, to actually cover the war, as opposed to back in the day when news organizations would be more concerned about properly covering the news as opposed to making money. Yeah, so our news industry is at a crisis point. I mean, they're only here for this short period because they know they're going to get a bump in ratings because this is going to be newsworthy.
Clickbait.
This 2-year anniversary.
Yep. And it's going to get worse once we hit, May, June timeframe and the U.S. election cycle gets into full swing.
Oh yeah,
Exactly, Commander.
They're all going to be focused internally on the U.S. and who cares what happens elsewhere.
Unfortunately,
Phil,
That's right.
I'm not a betting man, but I would bet money that they were hoping a rocket was coming. I'm telling you. For the 2-year anniversary, we're going to be, hey, we're here again. Yeah. And the mass attack on the 2-year anniversary, why was fairly quiet.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
Christian Amanpour, the second there's an air raid siren, she's on that balcony.
Absolutely.
You know? I got to turn this bloody thing off. Sure. Christian look, I know a lot of these people, and some of them are better than others. Richard Engel over at NBC is very knowledgeable about this. I'm glad to see that Fox News came in and Brett Baer sat down with Zelensky. Absolutely. The guys who are on the ground here tend to be earnest people who do want to do, real news gathering. Not everybody, but the majority of them. But they're limited by the format because of corporate interests have taken over. The priority is money making. It's not news gathering. Amen. And so, even the guys that want to do what they can. I mean, I ran into I won't say who, but because I'll get him in trouble with his bosses if they ever hear that. But I got a buddy of mine who works for a big name news organization, and I was talking to him on Sapiensky, and it was like, I know you want to do more. He's like, yeah, we how can we do this in a 1:45 live hit, between commercial breaks? You want to explain a situation as complex as this in 2 minutes live on television, and only so you can fit to go sell boner pills or something.
Yeah, I mean, unless you're an auctioneer, it ain't gonna happen, right?
Or that guy that used to sell the tiny tots or whatever. Or that guy who used to do the. I'm aging myself.
Yeah. I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
But guys, your example of this documentary guy coming from LA. I mean, people, many of us know people who are trying to document this war and the truth of this war through their own video. It's fallen to individuals to do this. You can't rely on the corporations to do it.
Ain't that true, man? Ain't that true?
You don't have the infrastructure.
Let me jump in here with a couple of super chat shout outs and whatnot, and then we'll get right back to the action. So we had a shout out for Nutjob becoming a Shills apprentice. Thank you very much, Nutjob. And then he comes in with a super chat as well. MAGA clowns have blood on their fucking hands. I put fucking in there, but I'm pretty sure he wanted to. He's got attitude, right? And then Yvonne Way came in with gifting out 5 Shills memberships. I'm like Kramer on that money show sometimes with the buttons. It gets right out of hand. But thanks, Yvonne Way. She's the queen of the super sticker around here as well, if you've never heard that before. And then John Beck came in with a $10 super chat. And he says Mercado Media is live right now at the Washington, D.C. rally. So we'll keep this show not too long so you can catch him as well. Good shout, John. Good shout. And then Tyler Dowdy comes in with a $20 super chat. And I'm trying to heart it, but it won't let me. There we go. It says, what are your opinions on the House possibly forcing the vote on Ukraine aid using a discharge petition?
I've been hearing word about this through my network because I'm talking with a few people who aren't usually on YouTube in Washington, D.C. Mm-hmm. And I swear I've gotten like 200 messages. I need to catch up on them all. But the last that I heard was confidence that if it can be introduced, it'll pass. And the discharge petition somewhere between just needing to convince 2 or 3 people to get on board with it.
Guys, I have an idea. What about I donate $500 to some of the fundraisers that are gonna be going in November, of my own money, of course. I want to place a bet that, unfortunately, my opinion is that this bill won't be passed until the very election, and maybe even after. So, $500 from me. Anyone else want to bet on the opposite?
I'm good.
Didn't I say earlier that I'm not a betting man?
Am I producing
I'm
the
not a
fear
bet-
expression I need to for that?
The thing about the discharge, being fortunate to the floor on a discharge bill, is that it once it's the process, as I understand it, is that somebody has to initiate it. Somebody has to put it on the floor, and then it physically sits there, and then it's signed. Congressmen will come and sign it. Representatives will sign it. But even after it passes a threshold of, I think it's 214, it still has to sit there for 30 days before it's forced onto the floor. So that's 30 days of Ukrainians dying.
Is anybody else envisioning the thing from the 70s, how a bill becomes a law, and it's the little cartoon and stuff with because to me the system has got so cartoony that's what it actually is now.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure Professor Gertis will be putting out something about this. And to be quite honest, this is what his PhD is in. Yes. So pay attention to him. And Dick, I'm gonna try to get him on here one Saturday as well, as you message me. But yeah, I'm sure if this kind of keeps going, he would be a reliable source for people to check. Everyone, we all have our own viewpoints on politics, but the man knows the Constitution and he knows how DC works, so he can explain it and it will be accurate.
Here's my opinion on those politics.
Well, just to finish up on one more little thing.
So optimistic.
Yeah, when you talk, when it comes to the actual vote, so let's say the discharge process is what goes through. We're looking through 30 days. Again, I understand it. But what I think will happen when it comes to a vote is it'll pass. I think it'll pass. I think there will be if Jeffries can hold the whip on the Democratic side, you're probably going to see the pro-Palestinian, the Talib and the guys who are their constituencies will be very upset if money's passed to Israel. So you might shave off a couple of Democrats, but I think there are going to be enough Republican Congress people and representatives who will go, and I'm backing that up not only because I think there are people who are on board with supporting Ukraine, despite the MAGA crowd. But also, in addition to that, if you'll notice, in the last 10 days or so, while they were on vacation, shamelessly, some 23, the last I saw was 23 representatives, Republicans, said that they would not be seeking re-election. And that, to me, says that they recognize the significance of this, and by saying I'm not running for election, they're not beholden to they're not beholden to the MAGA crowd or they're not threatened by losing their seat. They're leaving their seat, so it'll allow them to vote the conscience. It will pass if it goes to the floor. The problem is this
Dick,
jerk Johnson.
Dick, let's do this. We have special opportunity now to have frontline, and he'll get mad if I say this, but a frontline hero here, and that is seeing the reality of this war on the zero, sitting to my right. So let's just Phil, let's say it passed in 45 days. Okay. When does stuff get here? In 90 days at the earliest?
Yeah, this isn't like waiting for Amazon, right? This is a lot longer.
So let's just give it a 90-day. Okay, Pete, if this war stays in the same condition it is right now, with no supply for the next 90 days, where are we going to be?
Up shit street.
Yeah.
Really. This cannot be allowed to happen. It is there is a tsunami out there, and it is unstoppable without without defense. The tsunami does not stop. It doesn't stop for anything. We've thrown everything we've got at it. And the only thing that helps is outside of the border of Ukraine. And it's the aid that we desperately need. That kind of a time wait, that kind of a 90 days, forget about it, man.
Yeah. Pete, we got a personal little message for you here from one of our moderators there, the mercenary moderator herself, Janine Terblanche. Big shout out to Pete. Just wanted to say, as a fellow South African who's also volunteering in Ukraine, that she's very proud of you for everything you're doing.
Janine Terblanche, buy a donkey. This is a Springbok sign, everybody. The famous South African rugby team. It's a Springbok. Janine, I get your leaf. Buy a donkey. I love you.
Awesome. And I wanted to ask you personally, Pete. I mean, you're in the thick of it, right? So how are you holding up, like, mentally, keeping the will and the strength to go and everything, you know?
The people, I get asked that question a lot, and I've got a ready answer, and it's the appreciation of the beautiful Ukrainian people that keeps me going.
That's a good one.
It's my driving force. Rick and I, everywhere we go, Virginia, we experience the same thing. There is so much love, and it's usually accompanied with massive deep hugs and plenty of tears of people that are utterly desperate and utterly destitute, and they see you coming, and you're not from my country, what, you're not here, you don't need to be here, you could be at home in your peaceful land, what on earth it's that disbelief followed by floods of tears and desperate appreciation. That's what keeps me going, Dick. And that's helping the most needy, the most desperate, something that we were all brought here. We were designed for it. God created a few of us that can do it. And we've got wonderful, wonderful legends like yourselves out there, and all your beautiful supporters keeping us going, delivering this incredible aid to those that are so desperate for it. And give yourselves a pat on the back, man.
Well, speaking of which, I forgot to say, we'll be doing the same thing today, where half of the Boom Boom fund that comes in today will be going over to Rick's programs there that he's got going on. That's been the thing we're doing right now. And then Greg Terry and I are also going to be hooking up when we do get time proper, so we can be involved there as well.
Beautiful. Well done, everybody.
Take care of you, man.
Love you,
Hey,
guys.
can I ask? I don't want to capitalize the conversation, too much conversation. But let me just follow up on something you said there about how much of a shit show things will be in 90 days. How much territory are we talking about having to retreat? Because they can't occupy the cities. They're not going to take Kharkiv. They're not going to take an urban center. But how much physical territory do you think will have to be surrendered and handed over in those 90 days as we wait for the fucking West to get its shit together?
Phil, I'm not that knowledgeable enough to answer that question. I'm a medic, and I don't possess that kind of knowledge, man. But I can tell you, at the rate it's going, it's a lot.
Yeah,
it's a lot. Greg is actually better equipped to answer this question than I am. He travels these lines a lot more than I do. I'm tied to one platoon and one battalion. Greg.
So I agree with you that they can't take Kharkiv. What they can do is just shell the crap out of it. Additionally, they can take Kupiansk, they can take Liman, they can take Siversk, they can take Ivanivsky, they can take Chasiv Yar. They can put immense pressure on the loop road, which is Konstantinivka, Druzhkivka, Kramatorsk, and Slavyansk. If not, take some of Konstantinivka. It's just a fact. That region is up on a hill, so there's some elevation there that gives Ukraine some advantage there right now, so that's good. Additionally, of course, Avdiivka is gone, and then you have the line there of 4 villages that are about 6 kilometers out, and they definitely can be gone. Robitny's falling right now. We've lost. I don't care what you guys see. I work right with these guys. Krinky is barely holding, and we're going to have to give that back for safety. Kherson is being demolished every day. I have an apartment right down on the river where I stay. And
I talk to Zarina on the daily. Zarina's every ski down there.
People are being killed every day in Kherson, and right now I think we're up to 56 settlements. They call it here in Ukraine, villages and towns. It's not forced evacuation, but it's highly encouraged evacuation, yes, from that Kherson region that pushes down to the riverbank. So, I mean, we're here to tell the truth, and this is the problem. We're behind, and when Pete says they keep swarming, so this is, Phil, I think I sent you a message on Twitter. You didn't know who I was, so maybe we'll definitely connect, whether it's through Dick or however. But
sorry.
But, oh yeah, no problem. I looked up some of your
crazy week.
No, it's all good. I looked up some of your stuff, and I really appreciate it. I started working in Moscow in '94, so speak Russian fluently, and been working in Ukraine for 26 years. So what the world doesn't understand, you actually do understand, and that's why I appreciate you. The Soviet mindset. That's the problem.
That actually leads
the
to
imperial mindset as well. Yeah.
Exactly. The West can't comprehend it.
Yeah, Starsky has spoken about this many times, this ingrained thing that Russians have about superiority and literally feeling like yes, that's it. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, Rick can speak to it more. He lived under it. But I'm telling you, it's crazy when I'm an American. When Americans, and I don't care what side of the aisle, what color they are, what north, south, west, Hawaii, Alaska, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're from South America, from South Africa. It doesn't matter. You cannot understand the Soviet mentality. They do not care about human life. They do not care how many dies. And when Pete says they're swarming, there's 470,000 Russian troops on Ukrainian sovereign territory right now, and they're getting stronger by the day. Russia's on a war economy. Ukraine is not on a war economy.
Correct.
The West is not on a war economy.
That's right.
So we're falling behind, and it needs to be stopped now. Like right now.
Yeah, it will avalanche. It will tidal wave. It will tsunami.
It's tsunami. And the missing thing we haven't discussed is,
and it'll be too late.
We're losing too many soldiers.
Yes, thank you for saying that. Because
That's
you're fighting
problem.
artillery with flesh. You cannot fight artillery with flesh. That's it. That's literally it.
Pete, it was like we were talking last week. If you don't have things to throw at them, what the fuck are you supposed to do?
Amen, brother. Amen. Thank you. You couldn't have said that better. And how long do they? I mean, there's not an endless supply of soldiers out here. These are new recruits. They barely spend. They're brave soldiers. They're the bravest soldiers on earth. These guys are. I work with them. I fight with them. They're heroes. They're flipping RoboCops. The legends of them, all of them. But you cannot. Bullets, the human body cannot stand up to an artillery shell, and there isn't an endless supply of human bodies.
That's right.
There is a seemingly endless supply. Not seemingly, there is an endless supply of artillery shells coming from Russia. Those ours have been stockpiling for decades and decades and decades.
Yeah.
We are absolutely up S Creek without a paddle if we don't get help now, and the world will regret having this opportunity if they don't take it. Man.
Fuck, no shit.
Because
I mean,
Europe is going to fall.
Yeah. It's so clearly obvious what's going on here that the
want
people
to reclaim their old.
Yeah, they're building. Yeah. They're building by force the union.
Yeah. Yes.
Right.
What?
The world needs to wake up yesterday, man.
Well,
I mean, you look at. I mean, I don't give too much credence to Alexander Dugin, but I think he's representative of something that's happening within Russia and has been happening for quite some time. And I don't know, this went unnoticed a lot, but I noticed it, and I've been trying to spread it around. About 10 days ago or something, Alexander Dugin, this the philosopher of Z Russia, puts out a tweet, why he has a profile on X when Navalny doesn't. Anyhow, Dugin puts out the tweet where he openly said the idea of human rights is a Western idea, and it's false, and it's not, it's been created what he said Masons and liberals. They don't believe in a basic cornerstone of liberal democracy, the idea of inalienable rights, and the West can't conceive of this. They don't get it.
100%.
They don't, because of their history, they do not believe that you are born anything more than chattel for the state. You are no better than a chicken or a dog or a horse. You are not born with rights. You earn rights by sheer force of will. It's cynical. It is depraved, and they're openly saying it now. If we believe in, and they will strip the West of this idea of inalienable rights and the rule of law and open and free elections. If they're
You can
able to,
see
they
it
will
with the
use it as a
MAGAs right now.
challenge to them. Yeah,
You can
They're
see
fellow
it with the
travelers with
MAGAs.
MAGA.
They're coming out and actually saying, we intend to completely dismantle democracy in the U.S.
That is, you're right.
And
It's a
they've
quote.
been co-opted by the Russian fascists.
100% correct, Commander. Pete just gave me this off of his phone. It's pretty faint. Rick, you've probably seen this. Yeah, this is the Ukrainian soldier that put it on the wall there. It says, "We are not asking too much.
We just
just
need
need
artillery shells and aviation. Rest we do ourselves."
Yes,
Armed Forces of Ukraine.
Armed Forces of Ukraine. Exactly, and that's the deal.
It sums it up, boys and girls.
Okay,
We'll finish this,
guys,
Bill. Just give us
I just wanted to
Thank you, man.
to say that right now, U.S. is being held hostages, as I see it, hostage of Putin through Trump and Mike Johnson. They're just puppets of one another, except for Putin. So the thing is, it's up to not up to politicians to stop them, not up to your governments. It's up to you, people. It's up to you to decide what's going to happen with your country in the future. And unfortunately, as I see it for the last, 4 or 5 months already, your calls and petitions, they don't work. Because this is not the situation that you've been before. This is something new. This is something that your government is being paralyzed. It is just impossible to influence them because they cannot do anything themselves because they have been held hostage by a few people, but just maybe a few dozen of people, maybe even less. So the thing is, it's not like they can actually do something with it. And that's the plan. That's the plan to paralyze your government for as long as it takes to make Ukraine suffer greatly, or to capitulate as Putin is hoping, or just, lose a significant part of territory, and probably hoping also for demoralization of Ukrainians and some riots inside of our country. So I think that's his hope. And I will say to you guys that our motivation, well, I would say moral spirit, not motivation. Moral spirit is not getting better because of this. It is getting only worse. The spirit of Ukrainians, as we see that we've been just fucked over. I'm sorry, pardon my French. Yeah, so or duped, right, Greg? Yeah.
Well,
So
you got it, buddy. I taught you that word.
yes, and you see, and demoralization is growing in time, and this brings a lot of death. Lila told me, I don't think it's secret information, that she lost 3 friends this month. She went to 3 funerals this month, and it's going to be just growing with. And I am lucky that I still haven't lost any soldiers that I know, but I am sure that this is just a matter of time, because Russians are increasing their attacks because they don't care about their soldiers, and they can afford it. They can afford to throw hundreds of thousands of men into the battle. And even if 90% of them are dying, which is confirmed by prisoners of war, Russians, they say, oh,
They're
like
they're
only
walking
10%
hamburger,
survive.
right? They
Yeah,
don't care.
Exactly.
100%.
And the situation is really critical right now. That's
Well,
what
two
I was talking
Things I would say to that, Rick, and I'll, Gertis is so stinking smart. He really is, and I know it's not about.
We need to
politics.
get that guy on the show, dude.
I'll get him on here.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's just a smart guy, and like he does analysis of those that are viewing his channel and also at the same time who are supporting through our efforts financially the war in Ukraine, which is in a large scale now. But the average age of that is like 55 and above. Okay. The demographically speaking, Rick, you can do the analytics on yours as well because you run a lot of aid through your channel. And that gap of age group we're missing is that 20 to 45. And I'm not saying everybody, but
no,
there's
you're not wrong because they're severely lacking around here as well, dude. You're totally, yeah.
So now, Phil, we'll get this. Phil, you remember Yuri Bezmenov in 1984 talking about political subversion. He was a ex-KGB agent who, he defected. Yes. He came to America in 84. He gave the famous talk on CBS or whatever it was. He says, this is what's happening and you're going to see it continue to happen. And he says, this is what the Soviets do is they demoralize a country for at least 1 to 2 generations through their operatives, through their propaganda. After that, they begin to destabilize a region and that's what they move into. After that, they create false crises that lead to chaos and problems. And then after that, it becomes normal. And the next thing you know, that country or that region is gone. And that's exactly what we're witnessing.
Yep. Khrushchev in 55. Khrushchev in 55. We will defeat you without without firing a single shot. We'll defeat you from within.
That's correct.
Guys, my huge concern is Poland these days. You see, when they pulled up the Soviet Union flag and really asked Putin to come and liberate them, so-called. Pete.
Sorry, but we got to hit a button for that. Poland, the whole thing with the flag. It's just
fuck is wrong with you.
Was that earlier this week? Because I had not.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's been.
There's signs. There are signs in broken Polish. Look, that's a GRU off.
It is. It's Russian.
Totally.
It's all. Yeah. It's just those of us who have the codex. You can see it a mile off. When you see it. Once you see it, you can't unsee it, and you can see their dirty little fingers everywhere. And I made the point today, and look, guys, I feel the same way as all of you. I apologize to as many Ukrainians as I possibly can. It's disgraceful, and I'm deeply saddened to see where we are. The one thing that I also say is, and people do understand it here, and Rick, you back me up on this if you think I'm right in the kind of mood of the Ukrainians, is that, it's not hard to explain to them that it's not the same what is happening. Here there's a hot war. People are physically dying. They're being, killed. Their bodies are being killed. We are being attacked in our body politic. Our brains, our minds are being attacked. It's the same battle with different weapons, and they're getting into our body politic. They are polluting everything from politicians to media to take your pick, and it's insidious.
Oh,
so we're under attack too. We're absolutely under attack.
But the thing is, you can battle that. You can battle that also only with with your hands, with your fists, like we in 2013-14. We went on the streets because that's the only way. That's the only way to make your government listen to you. Because while you're sitting just in the let's call it computer, old style way. If you're doing it only through your phone or through your computer, through social networks, unfortunately it doesn't work. And I have a great song playing in my head here. It's about Ukrainian protesters, about those who went there and really fought back the evil, murderous militia that was operating back then in 2013. Only by fighting that you can do. So, guys, I just want to probably prepare you that maybe someday, and that day may come not so long I mean, it may be
It may come sooner than you think. Yeah.
Yes. That you will have to go on the streets and really fight for your freedom, because your freedom is being at risk from within, from your government, which is influenced by Russian, let's call them agents, or it is already in danger, and we can see the result of it. Your Congress is paralyzed for the last, almost half a year already? Guys, can you correct me on that?
Longer than that, right?
Longer than that.
Yeah.
Oh, so absolutely. That's crazy, and that's a very big red flag. And I really am just placing this seed into your mind, this inception, that you will have to go on the streets someday. It's inevitable if you want to fight for freedom. This is not something that is just going to go away by itself.
Oh, absolutely not. And what you're saying, I mean, honestly, I do not think it will happen. But with regards to people actually going out into the street and having to do something, if Donald Trump does win the election in the United States,
steals the election.
Steals, exactly. If Donald Trump does steal the election in the United States, then exactly what you're describing will likely come to pass.
Let's give people a reality shot here. Do you want this in the Oval Office? No.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And we're at a critical time. Rick and I are together.
I think we're losing you. Oh.
You're bugging out a bit there. Hold on.
Yeah. Lost Greg and Pete.
Yeah, damn. It's happened just a minute ago too. Their little circle disappeared there. We'll have them right back. Yeah,
they'll come back right now. I think.
Look, what drives me nuts. One of the many different things that drives me nuts right now is this recent Smirnov arrest. I mean, how many of these Russian operatives do we have to find internally, domestically within the United States when we finally fucking wake up and realize we're under attack?
How many more there that you don't know about and whatnot?
How many more out there that we don't know about? How many of these fuckers do we have to catch? Come on. We're under attack.
Here's part of the problem, I think, because way back during the last major Cold War between the U.S., the Soviet Union, and basically the ideological war between Western democratic capitalism versus communism, you had this major ideological divide. And of course, you had other people who felt like we have our own system, we consider it separate from both of you guys. But really, you had the definition of, first world, second world, third world, in classic literature on this topic. Today, ever since the end of that, ever since the fall of communism in many places, not everywhere, but many places around the world, we've seen a failure to really organize and instill that same sense of urgency against societies like Russia and even China. Instead, exactly.
And Pete, you'll probably agree with me, having been an old Moscow hand. But what you said, you were there in '94?
Oh, I was there in '94.
Rick. Oh, I'm sorry. It's Greg, is it?
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
No problem.
You will, I think, will agree with this as well, as I'm getting consensus with Rick there, is that when the Soviet Union collapsed in '91, we had, call it hubris, call it whatever, we had this conviction that it would be our system that would go east. The rule of law, democracy, capitalism. We firmly believed that we had won the Cold War, so obviously our system will go east.
That's right.
What happened instead was their poison of kleptocracy and imperial thought and this cynicism, this dark Russian cynicism came in, seeping into and poisoning the West. I mean, the largest Orthodox church outside of Russia, Russian Orthodox Church, is in fucking Paris because that's where Putin wanted to put it.
Yeah.
That was a clear middle finger to the West. The City of Lights, there's the massive Russian Orthodox Church. We thought things would go east. What happened was we got poisoned.
You're exactly right. You're
Well,
exactly right. Hey, Dick.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Commander, or whoever was saying something.
That was me.
Okay.
I want to point something out. Earlier, somebody had said, look at the demographics of your viewership and so forth regarding how many people. And if you do, I would contend that the majority of the people that are engaged and understand what's going on are those people who came of age during the Cold War. And we always viewed Russia as, the big enemy and all of that, because godless commie oppression, whatever you want to call it. And the moment the wall came down, everybody decided, oh, we've run, we don't need to worry anymore. And all of that, I hate to say it, but propaganda disappeared. And so suddenly it became, oh, they're just normal people. The kleptocracy that they had. Yeah. And that was the whole issue. And I think that's one of the issues is the problems we're facing is that younger generations don't view the threat that we are currently under with the same level of reality of viewing who really is the threat here. And it's not necessarily the Russian people. It's a system that matured in Russia of a kleptocratic system where the powerful get everything they want and everybody else is there simply to throw into the meat grinder so that they can get wealthier.
I love that.
And we're seeing that making incursions on our own.
Ogle wrote about it.
Exactly.
Look
at, we're seeing it making we're seeing it make incursions on us because look at the whole MAGA message. It's the same thing. He's a brilliant businessman. He's a millionaire. Of course, he's the best leader.
Yeah.
Hey, Dick, let me do this because, as you can tell, we're struggling with internet right now.
I saw it.
And this man's got to get back to the zero in just a few hours.
Right.
So, but he wants to say something. And will you come back on the Shills again?
Yes, I would love to.
Oh, yes, we can't wait.
I'm honored to be here. Thank you.
So, Pete.
Thank you. Guys, two very short statements and then one hopefully powerful message. Just about 2 statements about Europe. Poland, please stop what you're doing on the borders. Ukraine needs your gateways to get much needed aid and people into Ukraine. Please, please, please stop what you're doing, man. We were your brothers yesterday. Don't turn against us at our dying moment. No, not our dying moment. At our
desperate
hour of need.
Desperate hour.
Please, Poland. Proszę dusz, proszę bardzo. That's the first thing I want to say. Second thing, a very good friend of mine, a Ukrainian in London, who's helping soldiers and soldier equipment for Ukrainian soldiers that are going from here to England to train. They can't, then they go there and they've met with so much love and generosity, they can't get their equipment back into this country. Do you know why? Because Ukraine has tightened up the rules about bringing aid into your country. Ukraine is trying to fight corruption internally, and I applaud them for doing that. But they have tightened the screws so badly. And the guy gave me one. I mean, there are backpacks, dozens and dozens of backpacks sitting in Poland that can't come into the border because Ukraine has tied the screws on how much humanitarian can come into the country without organizations like us bringing that aid in. And there's another problem with that. Do you remember the Zaporizhia Dam burst? Was it Zaporizhia Dam?
Novokhovka.
Yeah, Novokhovka Dam. At that time, the regulations regarding humanitarian aid were still normal, if I can use that word. There were so many clothes brought into Ukraine that there were warehouses lying full of clothes that they couldn't get out to people. There wasn't the need was just not there. Then the flood happens. Those warehouses were emptied in a day. Sometimes stuff needs to sit around and be waiting for an emergency. And this all comes to my point, and which is right now, humanitarian organizations such as ourselves, if something comes in on our books, we have to get rid of it within 90 days. Otherwise, we face massive fines and possible proceedings. This cannot happen when you need to have emergency aid hanging around in a warehouse somewhere, waiting for a grand-scale emergency. So Ukraine, please relax your laws on this, because another major disaster could happen. And guys, Rick, you mentioned a little while ago that the only way to fix these things is with fists, and you alluded to the 2013-14 Maidan Square thing. you guys, we're all talking about drones and weapons and all sorts of things. I want to I want to remind all of the good people of this world that there is another very powerful weapon that not many of us a lot of us are forgetting. And I struggle to remember it too sometimes, but I'm going to remind you all of it right here, right now. And please give it a minute of your day every day if you can. And this comes from John 4:16 from the Bible. So we have come to know and to believe the love that God has for us. God is love, and whoever abides in love abides in God, and God abides in him. God is love, folks. And if people are loved, and if people can spread love, and if people can spread the God message, it's, in my opinion, the most powerful in the fight in Ukraine.
Well, what we're doing right now is not working.
No.
So
Thank you. Well said.
it can't hurt. I will tell you this, and you guys know it. So Pete has Project Konstantin. Our NGO is called NAPRAM. And, this may be interesting for you. We have to operate a little differently than Rick. I love how Rick operates, but he's a Ukrainian citizen, and he does everything transparent, working through the monobank system. It's awesome. I love Rick's so transparent, he's invisible. That's what I say. I love Rick. But here's the deal. And Rick, maybe, and then we'll get Pete to bed here. But by the way, guys, we brought him over here where we're at just for a minute. And I mean, we're really close over here, but got him a hot shower.
Thank you.
Get him a good bed to sleep in tonight, because he's being there's some rotation, a good shave. He's his first shower in 6 weeks.
Yes.
And that's because of people, my community. But Dick, now we're friending Rick, all of us guys working together, able just to let this man rest for a night. And it's so important. But the point being, Rick, you can speak to it, and we'll be done on our end for tonight. But it's complicated right now for us to even help. And I'm just shooting straight. And Pete's right. Ukraine really needs to figure some of this stuff out so that the help can be organized accurately, because I'm so hoping that a tsunami of military support comes quickly, but Ukraine needs to be able to facilitate it and handle it, because right now, over the last few months, it's got a little goofy in here. And I think that's just the fairest way I can say it. And I know they're in a war, and I know we're struggling with mobilization, and I know we have no shells, but I'm going to tell you, there's heroes here waiting, and we must not do anything that would hinder them from doing their job. Period.
Thank you. Well said.
Great. Pete, before you leave, don't lose hope. Don't lose hope.
Never.
Don't lose hope.
Greg,
and Commander, maybe you can back me up on this. Once that bill passes, and I agree with you, it's despicable and disgraceful and shameful that it's even have to wait for 30 days. But once that bill passes, I don't think it's going to be 90 days, Greg. When the U.S. military wants to make something happen,
I agree.
I was involved in Operation Iraqi Freedom. I was an embedded reporter in Operation Iraqi Freedom. When the U.S. military wants something to happen, it happens. Pete, don't lose faith. Hang in there.
Pete, before you go, there's a message in the chat. The Polish government broke the blockade at the border today for military and humanitarian aid.
Hey, brilliant.
Very good.
Slava Ukraina.
Slava.
That makes you sleep
good. That's beautiful news. Guys, I want to tell you something.
Get some rest, Pete.
Phil, thank you for your message to me a minute ago. We will not lose hope. Heroes like Greg and Zhenya and the military out here, we will keep on. They will keep on. We will keep going. We will. What's
I know. I'm just telling you.
Thank you.
Aid is coming. Aid is coming.
Guys,
And
what
it is.
test?
They can
What
push us
test
back
again?
as far as they want to. We'll be waiting for that aid, and you will see.
Hang in there. Hang in there,
bloom.
brother.
We will bloom together, Phil. God bless
Sorry you
your
have
lovely
to,
message
but
of
hang in
support.
there.
We will, boss.
make
We
it
will.
happen. I believe in my country.
Guys, sorry, I missed the cheering moment. What has passed?
What they were saying was that aid couldn't as easily get into Ukraine right now because of the blockade in Poland, and the blockade has come to an end.
Yeah, the government broke it.
How?
Lifted it to the bank.
What exactly, guys? What exactly? Because there was some tricks from their side, and I want to warn you that it's going to be just could be like the last time. So what is it? Can you give us some exact information?
No, that's just a message that was pointed out to me from the
I
chat.
saw a tweet. I saw a tweet that was put out, or a headline that was put out that to mark the second anniversary that the embargo, that the limitations were lifted. I am hoping that is a permanent.
You see,
lifting, but it could be, and you're right, Rick. The polls
Play the game.
Yeah, you see, the thing is, this week they were saying that they're gonna make those passing points. Well, how do you call them? On the border. Places where you cross the border.
Border crossings. Yeah.
Border crossings. They are going to make them a part of critical infrastructure. And this doesn't actually solve our problem because currently our military aid and some of our humanitarian aid is being transferred in just regular convoys because they are drones, they are parts for drones, and you are actually not fixing the problem. So I think it's just another dust in your eyes, if you can call it like that. I don't know
That's a good way to say
phrase
it.
of yours.
Yeah,
I like that.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Let's see.
We'll see. We can hope for the best. But again, go get some sleep, brother.
Yeah,
Go get to a
Commander
wrap.
Dick,
Yeah.
Phil,
Go
Rick,
get to a wrap.
everybody.
But
God
don't
bless you all.
lose
Thank you.
faith, brother. Do not
you.
lose hope.
Dick, we'll talk
You're
to
hanging
you.
on by
Yes.
fingertips. I know that. But
We will.
aid is coming. It
Yeah.
is.
Thank you, boss.
Not
We
as
appreciate
quickly
that
as
more
any
than
of
you
us
know.
would like, but it is coming.
I believe you.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank
We
you.
I
will
believe it
continue
too.
to be here.
Commander,
Thank
bless you
God
tonight.
bless
Phil,
everybody.
nice
Dick,
to meet
thanks
you.
for having
We'll
us.
be talking.
Reach out
Dick,
again to me, Greg. I'll answer
I will.
this time. for
I
sure.
will. Dick, we'll be talking
Yes.
and keep rolling. And Rick,
Rick.
I love you, buddy.
Rick, I'll see you soon in Kiev.
I'll
God
see you in
bless.
Kiev.
Rolling, guys.
Rolling.
Love you,
Awesome.
brothers.
Love you all.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Take care, guys.
Good night.
Bye. God bless everybody.
Yeah.
Some rest.
And yep.
I wanted
Good night, guys.
to add something, but I'm passing you the
Oh.
mic, Sekai.
Yeah, I'll add. With regards to Poland, I think one important thing for us to keep in mind is, this is not to the best of my knowledge, this is not the current acting Polish government that's been behind a lot of this, right? This has been protesters, mostly farmers, Polish farmers. I mentioned this in a stream earlier today. We've seen a lot of truckers and farmers across multiple countries. In the U.S., there was talk about truckers in New York City just last week doing a protest. A lot of very right-leaning, I'd say far right-leaning people from particular industries. And I'm not saying anything in general about all people from these professions, because I never say all, ever. But we have been seeing this trend across multiple countries where you've got these kinds of protests and blockades for conservative, even hyper-conservative politicians, when things don't go their way. And in Poland, I think we have to be braced for the fact that this could keep recurring in some way, because Law and Justice and several of their allies in Polish politics who lost the last election, there are still people who are very frustrated or who are very upset that Donald Tusk and Civic Platform won. So it's not a matter of something good happened, it's done. You have to be ever vigilant. It is a constant battle.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Agreed.
and as for these borders, okay, that's enough of that. I actually have something. I have something to show you. Actually, not just one thing, but two things. But maybe super chats first. Dick, what do you think?
Yeah, I'd like to get caught up quick, and then my son's lunch is about to be here. So I'll go blah, blah for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I'll run him up his food quick, and then I can set up other shit, and we can, be back on track. So let me get into it here. I got to go way back to, let's see here. Yvonne Way, the queen of the super chat around here, threw in queen of the super stickers, threw one in. And it's the little fox dude. And to me, it looks like he's rolling a joint. I'm not really sure. I think it's a reference to me there. But thank you, Yvonne Way. PC Skyman came in with a super sticker as well. Number one fan, the little pear guy jumping around. Thanks, PC Skyman. Michael Michaels, New Zealand super chat there. Pete, you're a hero. Love from New Zealand. Fuck, I wish I wasn't late on that one, but I do know how to get a hold of him, and I'll send it over. The Man of the Woods sent in a super chat. Orange Puppet will eventually wear orange clothes. Oh, yeah. A lovely set of bracelets clamped right behind his back, indeed. Silver Earth, member for 12 months. Send the confiscated money and the aid package. Yes, 100% agreed. I can hear somebody pouring water and stuff.
There's a beer.
Oh, okay. Well, then you're forgiven. BR Boat in there. Send in a Norwegian krona. 200 of them. Super chat. If a NATO member were attacked and Article 5 was activated, does the U.S. need to pass a vote in Congress House in order to respond to Article 5? Can Mike Johnson delay an Article 5 respond by denying a vote? Commander, do you want in on that?
Technically, yes.
Ah.
Now, as I said, technically,
Yeah.
because it's an existing alliance, the president is free to act to send forces. But the opposition could bring this up as an issue and a vote to require either a declaration of war or an AMUF.
Right.
Authorization for use of military force.
Okay.
True, but the opposition, I think, would have to bank on enough important voices in DC actually being against NATO, which as much as their narrative would like people to think that, it is absolutely.
I need a
not the
second.
case.
Be right back.
Oh, yeah.
No, you're 100% correct there.
Yeah. And
There's a window of opportunity, Commander, as well, where the president can act. Basically by executive privilege, but it's limited, and then he has to.
Yeah, I think it's 30 days. I think it's 30 days before you have to go.
Oh, and when Dick gets back, I'll go ahead and let Rick do his announcement because I know he had something he was going to say. One thing I've just realized that maybe we should do right quick before this stream runs long enough that we have to end it. We haven't gone over any news yet.
Oh shit, guys! In 10 minutes. In 10 minutes, there's a premiere on my channel, part 2 of NAFO truck handover event from yesterday.
Oh.
So if some of you guys are interested to jump in 10 minutes, or maybe, I don't know, watch it after. Yeah, just watch it after. Don't miss the stream. But watch it after because YouTube has been an asshole to me lately, and my videos are not earning 1,000 views even. Just like before, it's happening for the last month or two. Before that, every video of mine was gaining at least 1,000 views. Now it is 600 and it stops. So it's shadow banning me. Though I work hard on being consistent and posting a video every day, it doesn't care. I think they are just being very, how do you call it? Okay, whatever. They are trying to get our Ukrainian accounts silent, but
they've
not publicly.
adjusted the algorithm for business reasons.
Yeah.
No money changing hands under tables with Russian smells on it. None at all.
And it is a lot. So we need to, what we need to do for you, Rick, is we need to get a team together, or at least one other person who can really help you focus on some social media management. And if the algorithm is going to shadow ban you, we got to bring in organic views from multiple other platforms. Have people clicking on your streams from Instagram, from Facebook, from Threads, from Twitter.
Yeah, man.
Rick,
I can't afford
come by
it.
the office.
I know.
I can't afford it, guys.
I can. Come by the office. Come by the office. We'll get. I'm setting up the studio. Once we get the studio fully set up, I'm going to let any Ukrainian blogger who wants to do, podcasts or anything blogging out of that television production studio to use those facilities. So
that'll be cool.
Yeah.
You and I have a little bit more of a conversation, and we're not quite ready to open our doors yet, but it's coming soon. And I've got a lot of Ukrainian bloggers and people I want to get as much voice as possible. So we'll get you into that. We'll get you into that studio, and you can start doing some production, high production podcasting or video production.
That's awesome, Phil.
Thank you
very much.
Thank you very much for this proposal. Guys, again.
Konnichiwa. Yeah.
I got it. I get it.
Okay. So, offer. Yes, that's the word.
Offer,
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you for this offer. And, okay, Dick, you still need to get through Super Chats, or I can finally show the thing that I wanted to show?
I got just a couple more to do, and then we're good. Yeah, sorry. I had to get my son his pizza there. You know how that is. 16-year-old, if he doesn't get his lunch, he's just literally going to tear me limb from limb, right? You know. So Camilla Matson in the chat threw out a big super chat as well. Trump and Mike have been caught accepting money from the Russians. What kind of function is there in the U.S. to remove them from politics? Good super chat.
I'd say there are multiple in theory, and in practice, it's been proving more difficult. So, yeah, at the end of the day, the almighty dollar is king, and unfortunately, I think there is some white collar corruption that I cannot call out specifically.
Fucking Watergate didn't take this long. Fuck, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. So unfortunately,
they learned from Watergate. That's the issue. No, I'm serious.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
What
do you think Fox News was a result of? They knew that they had to control the message. Anyhow, sorry.
Not only learning from it, but apparently being terrified enough that every other conspiracy theory now has the word "gate" at the end of it.
To the point of insanity. It's so diluted, it's not funny now, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you have Rick the Situation Gate on Jersey Shore or whatever, I'm sure, right? You know?
Right.
You know?
Guys, should I show that thing? Because I'll...
I got
Mm-hmm.
two left.
Okay, do it.
Voltaire became a Shills master, so by your command. Love it. Thank you there, Baltar. I love that. Great username. And then Tyler Dowdy came in with a super chat as well. Question for Commander McMillan. What can Biden and military be doing now to ensure the equipment gets to Ukraine quickly once the bill is passed?
Speaking as an old logistician, this is what I would say. You do your planning in advance so that once the money has been approved, everything is already set up, and you just say, money is in the account, make this happen, and you do it.
Right.
You have to pre-plan it. And we do that in the military with what are called war plans. So we haven't gone to war with, let's say, Iran, but a war plan for a possible war against Iran exists. You need to have, in this case, because it's the same kind of situation, same kind of importance and severity, have that plan in place beforehand so that the moment funding is approved, bingo, you press the button and all the stuff starts moving, and you have all the contracts in place to get it delivered as rapidly as possible.
Right. Okay.
And I can attest to that as an eyewitness to the U.S. military in action in Iraq and Afghanistan.
Oh yeah.
When they want, as I said earlier, when they want to make it happen, it'll happen.
Go ahead.
I've got a follow-up question also on top of that. When this does get approved, and actually, you know, whether it's discharge petition and then you got to wait 30 days and then it starts to get sent, or it just passes and now it just needs to get there. Once there is something passed that shows this is going to move forward, whether it's 2 weeks or 2 months, the interim period between aid hasn't arrived yet and a significant enough has arrived to make the Russians a little scared shitless. What other countries or sources can be found to rapidly get things there if the U.S. does end up somehow politically blocked, or it's getting there slower than intended?
Well, we know that the EU, or rather NATO, has already been approving a significant amount of aid that's going in. And what can be done to kind of front load this, as you say, once this gets approved, if those countries can start using their stockpiles to supply Ukraine, and then we backfill their stockpiles. Now, there's obviously inherent risk there because if the Russians decide to suddenly expand this, then you have a bunch of NATO countries that don't have their wartime stocks of material to fight a war.
Right.
But you have to make that assessment. Is that a realistic possibility or not?
Right. I've
You
got
saw what the Danes. You saw what the Danes are doing. The Danes are getting every single shell that they've gotten. This was announced within the last 72 hours. They're depleting their entire stock of artillery, and they said because we're sending our artillery where the war actually is. We're not waiting for it to come to us.
Canada should be doing the same thing. It's not like we need to be holding on to things right now. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. It's not like we're in any danger at the moment,
Saw your prime minister in town today, by the way.
Yeah. The child of the guy that was actually revered. But I don't pick on him. I don't mind him, right? I don't mind him, Some people hate him. I got 3 donations to run through here, and then I'm all clear, and we're going to turn to Rick. And Rick, are we doing Help 99?
Yeah, of course, man.
Okay.
That's the third thing I wanted to do. Yeah, let me mention it right now because
yeah.
I won't visit my premiere, but I will open the tab and read the chat, guys. So if you're gonna be there on that premiere, I will see the messages, but I'll stay here because I haven't been showing you important things. And yes, we're raising funds for the 4th NAFO truck. We actually, the creator of that organization calls it NAFO, not NAFO. So that's the right pronunciation of that abbreviation. So NAFO truck, this one is done together with Roman Trochimets, not Trochimets, as Lila told me. Yeah, Trochimets. And
the crazy sniper himself.
Yes, that's him. And the photo of him holding a javelin between his legs, that's an epic photo. And he was making t-shirts with that awesome photo. It is gonna be on the patch, guys. Look at this. So this is he's standing on a Russian rag, of course, as it should be. Yeah. That's the place for that fucking tricolor. Yeah, and he is standing strong. And guys, for €100 donation, you will get one of those patches. I am really proud to be doing this together with Roman because he's an ultimate warrior, and he provides ultimate resistance since 2013. He was fighting there, those thugs, right in the front line of it. He was in the first row. He told me how hard it was, but he inspired me so much, guys. With this, he's so good at everything he does, and he deserves our love. And unfortunately, he's been damaged. His body been damaged a lot by this war, and he's right now going through rehabilitation. He needs our support. So let's provide this support. This will give him a lot of support, seeing this campaign being finished. And so that's actually another way to put it and promote it.
We've got the link in the description, as well as our moderator team are dropping the link. You can see it there right now. Help 99.
It's already 35%, 6,000 in a week out of 18,000. So just 65% more to go. Oh yeah, finish with those messages, and then I'm gonna be showing what I want to show. But maybe okay. Just let's see.
Yeah. Okay, so there was a couple of donations I wanted to get to here, so we had to hit the big alert button. Nelly Cat came in with a $15 direct donation there into the Boom Boom Fund. How many A-50s need to be taken down to halt the Russian attacks? Like, taking them out wouldn't halt the attacks, but
no. It makes coordinating Russian air efforts much more difficult for them. And we know they're already having problem getting aircraft to operate over the front in safe and coordinated manner. The more A-50s that are removed, the less capable they are of doing that.
It damages the logistics chain and the coordination, as Commander McMillan said, on the Russian side. And what we have to remember is that damaging Russian logistics and tactics will slow down their attempts to take more territory, which means less territory that has to then be deoccupied again later. Because at the end of the day, you know, I've said this from the very beginning, whether it takes 1 year, and of course we want it to be sooner, we want it to be done now, this war be done as soon as possible with Ukraine coming out the victor. But whether it takes 1 year or 10 years or however long, the one thing that is the ultimate weapon of Ukraine and all this is the determination of the Ukrainian people. This is not going to be over, and I firmly believe this, until all of Ukraine is whole again.
Yeah, I agree.
Good shout. So we had Lynn's definition. I'm so close on that one now. I know it's supposed to be definition, right?
Yeah. So the last one was perfect.
Okay, there we go. I think I finally got my fucking tongue around that. We love Lynn around here. Boom Boom Fund to help our friends. That was a $25 direct donation. And then we had Linda H in the chat sent in a $25 direct donation for the Boom Boom Fund as well. So huge love to you guys. Thank you very much. There was a couple of direct anonymous donated tips that came through Streamlabs as well. One was for $10 and one was for $6.66. So thank you very much, everybody.
I love that voice effect.
Has to be used sometimes, especially for that one. I wish I could play Iron Maiden after just for a second, but they would destroy our channel for doing that. You can't do that.
Yeah. Sadly.
Yeah. We've had like no time to go to the questions today so far from the viewers.
I was also saying we haven't gone through any news yet, and it's the 2-year anniversary.
We got through A50. We got through A50 already.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's
well,
true.
Rick's
Because that was the second one destroyed. Guys, let me show this thing, okay?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Go ahead.
I just wanna. That's huge, and you are not letting me show it. Okay, I'm not sure. I'm not
Oh,
showing it.
no. Come on, show us. We want to see it.
No, guys. First, a story. So you remember that biggest plane in the world, the Ukrainian one, AN-225, which is called Maria, which is translated from Ukrainian as a dream. So it was a Ukrainian dream. It was a big, proud airplane of ours, and we were helping with that one around the world, transporting some crazy stuff like shuttle, for example. that was impressive. And actually, I just checked Wikipedia, and it says that code name of NATO for this one was it was Cossack. Yeah, so actually, Ukrainian Cossacks. And Russians destroyed it in the first days of full-scale invasion. It was exactly 2 years ago. Something about on 25th, it was destroyed when they landed in Hostomel and started shooting around. So I have a piece of that plane here under the glass. Here it is. You can see the blueprint of it also. And it's a sign. It is signed by Andriy Beletsky, who is the head of Azov's 3rd Assault Brigade Regiment. So that's a very, very valuable thing, which I honestly would like to keep, but we are doing a fundraiser.
Yeah.
So no, this one is actually not Beletsky's. This one is Beletsky. You see. He's a Colonel Beletsky A, Andriy, and he's signed here. So here is the deputy constructor of Antonov. These are producers of the N, which goes for Antonov planes, and so this sign is good, but not that cool as this one. Anyway, guys, this thing is awesome, and it's big. You see, it's pretty big. And we're going to be auctioning it to raise money for the 3rd Assault Brigade. This was provided to me by the 3rd Assault Brigade. And let me put it in here so you will see it. Yeah, like this. So
back a little bit. It's kind of obscured by your mic stand boom thing. If you put it back a bit more, yeah, there we go. Then we see the whole thing. Yeah,
awesome. Thank you. So, what are we raising money for the 3rd Assault Brigade for? This is robots. They call them assault robots. They are moving on land. They are transporting supplies. They are evacuating the wounded. You can attach a turret on it, like a machine gun, and it's going to be automatically, well, not automatically, you will control it as a drone, but that's a land drone. So they are raising 20 million hryvnias, and we have taken 500,000 hryvnias, which is our 2.5% of that huge amount of money. With 20 million is about $500,000. It's more than $500,000. It's it's $550,000, and we have taken only $13,000. It's totally liftable, comparing it to the, what do we have there? NAFO truck, which is 18,000 euros. So it's even less than that. So I think we are totally raising funds for that in a short period of time, I'm sure. So, guys, this thing is going to be auctioned in 2 weeks, I think, closer to the end of the fundraiser, or maybe, I think 2 weeks. Well, at least I'm hoping it's going to be the end of the fundraiser, because right now we're raising for Mavic 3T drone tomorrow on my stream. First, we're finishing that one, and only what's going to be left of the money we'll raise tomorrow will go to the robots. So that one is practically only in the beginning, but we got to do it one by one. There's no other way. If we had millions of dollars, of course, we'll be closing them all simultaneously, but that's a grassroots effort, and thank you guys. That effort has been achieving some impressive results. Sorry, so damn tired. Yeah. So I just wanted to thank you all for your donations. On the previous stream, you have sent direct donations to Dick of $230. He sent it to me during the week, and I've donated it. And actually, I donated it.
It sucks for me because I send him Canadian money, he gets American money, and the number goes down so drastically. It sucks ass.
Another joke about Canadian dollar should be here. Okay, guys, your joke about the Canadian dollar could be here. You know.
Okay. We want donations for the Boom Boom Fund that are going to go to Rick, and you got to put a joke about Canadian dollars in there, right? Okay, that's what we want. Yeah.
Dick, I wanted to
neighbors to the north.
Dick, I wanted to specify just to be sure. The donations of the previous stream were both through super chats, which you haven't sent to me yet, right?
I got to wait until the turnaround, right? But I'm keeping a running total on that as well, you know.
Okay, so it's going to be the end of the next month, as usually YouTube does with payments, right?
Right, but at the same time, if we get donations during the month that are just for the channel direct and not for like the Boom Boom Fund, well, then I can just send them to you from that, right? So it could come earlier, right? You never really know, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, just keep me posted about that.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, this is not all, because we're also raffling tomorrow, and on the raffle
How the hell do you keep this straight in your head, dude? Holy crap.
Man, I'm actually barely dealing with all of this lately. Also having a daily job.
We got a crowdfund for Rick to have an assistant, man. That's what we need to do.
Guys, I really need an assistant, but that costs some money. I can't afford that. My channel is shadow banned by YouTube, and though I'm working hard on it.
All right. Okay. All right.
Yeah, we get the same thing.
You get in touch with me when I get my
my studio up and running in the next like 2 weeks or so, come by. We'll have a good long chat.
Like I need someone who's going to be working on social networks, and you
I
say
do too. We can dovetail it.
Rick,
okay.
I have one word for you. Intern. You need an intern.
Yeah.
Nice one.
Guys, look, I overstayed as long as and I know I'm a gabfest, so sorry if I capitalized on the audience and all the rest of it. I'm going to hop off for now. It's always a pleasure.
Good to see you, Phil.
I hope to come back again. Rick, you get in touch with me, and
Phil.
We'll see if we can get some stuff done together, okay?
Cool.
And I'm going to get my own podcast up and running with the studio, and we're going to call it On the Edge. And it's always a pleasure, as I say. So all the best to you. Slava Ukraine.
Awesome.
Thank
Take
you.
it easy,
Heroям
Phil.
Slava.
Be cool, buddy.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, guys. So I'm showing you the next thing.
Yeah.
This tomorrow on this stream, there's going to be a raffle of this beautiful bag purse. You can call it as you wish, with a trident.
Yeah.
It's been sent to me. It's handmade by an amazing Ukrainian supporter, Felony, on Twitter. She is doing amazing artwork and Nafa community. She is wow. Her artwork. You can check it out on my FPV for Christmas. That's been done for by her, and she was really active there. So she made this purse. It's with a pocket also outside. Out of the jeans, you can see it, guys. I don't know what brand it is of the jeans. Maybe you'll figure it out.
It's really cool.
That
I
is
really like
cool.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's been sent to make some money for the armed forces of Ukraine, and the raffle ticket is just $10, if I'm not mistaken, and you can buy as many tickets if you like, Sorry.
So, is this going to be then the high rollers rules?
Yeah.
Or okay,
high roller raffle. We made the names for them.
Yeah.
One is high roller when is
unlimited number of tickets.
Unlimited number of tickets, and another one is lucky seven tickets only. But there's some but there.
Oh, and then the last one was shoot, was it all for one? I think, and that's the one where you only have one ticket you're allowed to buy.
Oh, yes. That one is exclusive. We haven't done that one yet, but this is going to be interesting to do that one. It is, so exciting, to be honest.
Yeah.
So, raffles, multiple auctions on our streams. And this is why we have to go for 8 hours lately with Sekai. That's crazy. But rollers, even though they are tired from it and they are falling asleep in the middle of the stream, that's totally okay because it's the middle of the night. They are anyway happy, and they happy to see the result that comes with it, that we really close multiple fundraisers during one stream. And people have been extremely generous. Rollers, you are amazing. Thank you so much for all that you do for Ukraine. I'll start. Okay.
If you're ever dying and you're feeling like you're about to fall asleep and you're trying to get through it all, just bring me over for 20 minutes. I'll keep your ass awake.
Okay, we'll do that, man. We'll do. Well, maybe Dick. Maybe you should come to the show at 2 a.m. Ukrainian time on every stream, because after that is getting really sleepy. Maybe after 1 a.m. even.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, late night for you is still like, honestly, I'm kind of drinking too early. So,
Oh.
Yeah. But
okay,
buddy, you know how to get a hold of me, anytime.
Thanks, man. Guys, also to promote, this time it's not my fundraisers, which are for armed forces only. This time it's going to be self-promotion for once. Well, maybe every time I do that, but I'll say for once, okay? Okay, so if you wanna see me working as a roller full-time and not also, and I won't be, sorry guys, I won't need to work also on my daily job 5 days a week. You can become a member on my Buy Me a Coffee, and that's only $3 per month. And you can actually receive this Rickroller. Oh, this one was secret. Fuck. Yeah, guys, okay.
Don't worry.
I've
We can
just read
delete
it.
that. Ready? Go live in 3, 2, 1.
No, okay, that's not a secret anymore. There's Rickroller patch, but it is super exclusive. I don't give it out. What?
Out.
I'm forgetting English. So yeah, this one gets to you rollers someday. You'll get it, but this one you can get for Buy Me a Coffee membership. Rick the Ukrainian patch. But yeah, Rickrollers now have their own patch. This is not a secret anymore. It was at this moment when he knew he fucked up. Yeah. Yeah. So Rick the Ukrainian or Abrams, actually. Abrams patch is also an option. So this one for becoming a Buy Me a Coffee member, and do it only if you are ready to support me long term, because that's a subscription. It's not one-time donation.
The idea here is not one-time donations, but to sign up to recurring monthly ones, so that Rick can count on that income and not have to work and focus on his mission, which is bringing the news and the need for the aid to come through, and he's amazing at it,
And do dubs. Finally, keep doing dubs, because I don't have time with all this fundraising and journalism. I don't have time for dubbing, but I still want to do it. I still think it's very important. So some extra time would be awesome, and for that I need to have some solid income. And Buy Me a Coffee, of course, cannot be like super solid. Of course, some members can drop off, and that's understandable. But I'm reaching the goal there of $1,200 of monthly income from Buy Me a Coffee. And right now I have 616. Actually, halfway
let's get
there.
him there. Let's get him there. It's not a big ask. Come on. Look what he provides, right?
Oh, yeah. And guys, if any of you use Patreon, it's Buy Me a Coffee membership is basically just Patreon, except better, because unlike Patreon, they don't have a tendency to ban pro-Ukraine creators, like happened recently, unfortunately, to Arturehi.
And it was happening to Sternenko back in the day, by the way. They banned him also.
Yep.
And only after Ukrainians created a big big news about that, they immediately restored his account, apologizing. But he said, okay, I will stay on your platform, but only if you ban those Russian propagandists. And they didn't do that, so he decided not to stay on their platform. And he's the biggest Ukrainian activist and blogger and fundraiser. So you know, guys, if you don't know who Sternenko is, he's I'll tell you a secret. We call him our president here in Ukraine, not officially.
Right.
I know that in opinion polls, Zelensky still usually polls higher than him, but he has pretty high favorability among many Ukrainians in the last.
Well, he is not in politics and not planning to. So yeah, he won't be a president, at least in the upcoming years. And he's fully focused on supporting the army, and not just supporting it now with some aid, with some supplies, but he also does some changes in the military lately. They're actively working on developing some new FPV technology, some new drones, and he is implementing, he's buying all that. His team is working on, researching all of that and getting the feedback from the military about some new stuff that they're using. And so there's a lot of research, a lot of implementation through that, through his team. So he's more than just a fundraiser and blogger. He's doing so much and inspiring so much. So, and he shows that it is all possible, that you can do so many things simultaneously, which I am also doing. Not that many.
Rick, there was a question in the chat as it pertains to your Buy Me a Coffee memberships. There's 3, 10, and 25 levels. How do the levels work towards the patches and stuff? What's the deal there?
Any level, guys. You will get one of those patches for any level. So even if $3, if you decide it to be 10 or 25, you will get the patch anyway. So it's just up to you how ready you are to support me.
I recommend the $10 level because of fees and stuff and whatnot. The $10 level really helps a creator, as one I know.
Thank you. Good call. And anyway, it's I think ideally it is to have like 300 or 400 of $3 members.
Oh yeah,
of course, because when people will be dropping off, but it will take much more time for me to get to my goal.
Yeah.
Because someone bought me 5 coffees. Spread the word, Rick. Orcs go home. Thank you very much for 5 coffees. And also, guys, you can always send as always donations to my PayPal for the current ongoing fundraisers. Mavic 3T drone, 1 piece, and a few, 1 or 1.5 of those robots that are going to be saving lives of our soldiers.
Yeah.
That's what we're currently raising for. I'm getting super tired, and I was assigned some task here at home just now. So I gotta go.
Well,
wait. But before you go, Rick, I just want to share something right quick because you were talking about the world's largest plane, Maria, earlier, and I had mentioned this to Dick before. I just want to share an image right quick because I thought this was really cool when I saw it. There is a beer in Canada, and I don't know if everyone can see it. This is named after the plane.
It's not coming up. Hold on. It's doing that. Sometimes it puts it where your camera is. Sometimes it doesn't. Just send me the picture over in the green room.
Oh, okay. I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
I'll stop sharing my screen and send it to you right quick because I want Rick to see it real fast before he goes.
Okay. Yeah. Good.
I got to. I mean, I've seen it, but people should also see it. But it was visible to me.
Okay. I just DM'd it to you, Dick.
Guys, look at this. What a beer.
Yep.
It's the dream beer.
Kristallweissen.
Yeah, I've been told by my local place that I go to that they can get it. So right now I'm still, on hold here. Oh, Rick's got his thing out.
You're saying that the beer cans are made of that same metal?
Oh, yeah. Oh, guys, thank you so much for having me on today.
Anytime, brother.
And I just want to quickly say thank you, everyone who's been rallying today, who's been putting up a Ukrainian flag. And for us to win this war, we will have to go on the streets much more often. That's what I see Commander is agree with me.
Absolutely.
Agrees with me.
Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah. So let's keep fighting. Let's be united. And as we are now, I really love your support, and not just with donations. Donations are very appreciated, and you know that only with donations we can buy stuff for our soldiers. So, but the moral support, the mental support, and really given me the opportunity to do what I am doing, because without your support, I would have just give up long ago. Even though algorithm is trying to kill my activity, and I am a pretty stubborn guy anyway, so maybe I would have been still going, But who knows? Maybe I would have already given up. But with you rollers and fellow babies, and who do we have there? Konstantin Experience. I call that duo that way. There's a Project Konstantin and Greg Terry Experience, and when they're sitting together, they are Konstantin Experience.
I like it.
Yeah, that's the duo.
I think that's important. You were saying, we need to remain united, but the other thing I think we all need to make sure we do is to stay optimistic, because if we develop defeatist attitudes, we've lost. And that's the key, is to remain positive and assume that eventually we will pull through on this.
Guys, be honest. Do you still see me as a positive guy, or lately I've been?
You got a little bit more edge to your attitude these days,
and it's
but you're still
understandably
pretty
why,
much the lovely little. You're that soft-spoken, lovely guy, right?
Yep.
Well, that's actually real me in a critical, really critical time. So I can be more aggressive, or I can laugh at some answers as it was today. I apologize for that, but there was it felt like I acted rude.
You're good, buddy.
But being hysterical too lately sometimes, because you see the same news coming again and again, and it's just getting hard sometimes. And you guys, by this, you can see in what emotional atmosphere Ukrainians are right now. We see a lot of death and destruction and more occupied territories here every day, and it's just
well, as you've noted, at the start of the show, we were saying this is the 2-year anniversary, and you see this in a lot of the prolonged wars. You saw it in Great War, you saw it in the Second World War, we saw it in Vietnam, we saw it during the G1, all of this. Once you hit a certain point, just the endless repetition of all this suffering and misery begins to get to people. And, you've got to
very much
stay the course. That's the key.
Yep.
Hey guys, okay. Thank you once again. I got to run.
You take
care,
care.
brother.
Great having you here.
Thank you very much.
Stay safe, brother Rick. I'll talk to you tomorrow. There, send things over and whatnot, and
Thank you, the Shills, and thank you, everyone there watching, fellow babies, rollers. You are all amazing, and without you, would be already, if not dead, then definitely tortured somewhere in the basement of Russia. Okay, so
take care, brother.
Take it easy.
Live
man.
long,
Get some rest.
prosper, and donate. See you guys.
Awesome.
See you, man.
All right. So here, I'm going to run through a few super chats and we'll say our goodbyes here. So,
okay.
War Russia, Ukraine threw in a $20 super chat there. And I don't know how else to donate, but can this be split between the Boom Boom Fund and Rick? Hell, we'll just throw it all over to Rick's. He's got so many things he's fundraising for. We'll just do it that way. Thank you there, buddy. Lindsay Rogers became a member of the channel, so thank you very much for that. Love the memberships. James L threw in a super chat there, $10. Peace and love and glory to the heroes. Well said, well said. BME, our moderator there, threw in a super chat. This is $2 billion, but converted from Canadian, it's a couple of bucks. There was a bunch of good Canadian dollar jokes in there too. And then Niles G throws in a member message, Slava Ukraine. Love it. Now, let me just make sure. There was a couple other tips that came in, and they always keep coming up as anonymous, but I do actually get the usernames in the PayPal notification, and they're not the same person. So I don't know if Stream Elements with the tips is just fucking everybody over and not giving their names out. So, just if you did a Stream Elements tip and you want to be known for it, just, tag me in the chat and say, yeah, one was me. But we had one come in for 420 from Anonymous, and I just thought that's hilarious number, right? Well done. And there was another tip in there for $10 as well. So they're all going into Boom Boom Fund. We'll be sending it over to Rick tomorrow whenever him and I talk and stuff, and I make sure that it goes to the right place because I don't make the decisions. I just do what I'm told, right? So, we'll wrap it up here. Commander, we got to a lot of things tonight, and unfortunately, sorry, everybody, we're usually better at viewer questions, but I was just, there was so much going on. There was no chance, right? But what do you think, Commander?
Two things. Number one, what we didn't talk about in the news is that, and I'm bringing this up because a number of people may not be aware of it, and they need to be aware of it. When the Russians took Avdiivka, we thought that was going to be, they pause, and it doesn't appear they're doing that. They are making additional gains. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, it appears that there were no secondary defense lines constructed behind that front. So it's going to be a real fight to stop them from continuing to penetrate in that area. So fingers crossed and deepest prayers to the Ukrainian fighters that they can stabilize that sector and keep things under control. And secondly, as I've always said at the end of every one of these shows,
damn right.
And I know that somewhere along the line today, people were expressing, dubious, well, why should we bother continuing to press our elected officials? It's not having the effect. Yes, it is. Why do you think 23 Republicans have decided they're not running again?
Yeah.
It's because that pressure is coming to bear, and they know that they're not going to win. They don't want to have to spend the time and the money to run for re-election when they know that it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And it's the support of people here, of writing their congressmen, of calling them, of emailing them, of texting them, and keeping that pressure on and saying, Ukraine is important to us. We need to help them. And I think I just want to, as always, reiterate, that is the main focus of the fight for most of us. That's where we can deliver the most. So please keep it up.
Good job, buddy. Good job. What do you think there, Secular Sakai? Remember, everybody, Secular Sakai also has the channel Tridents Against Tyrants, and there's lots of good news and fundraising to be done over there. They've just crossed 500 subs. We'll get the link in the chat for you all, but get over there and keep up. Come on. Good stuff.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
We covered a lot of very important topics today. Yeah, it is going to be a tough fight. But I do believe Ukrainians are definitely going to get through this. They're going to be victorious at the end. We have to be realistic, but we also have to keep up hope because that's an important part of winning anything like this.
Damn right.
We didn't have time for articles today, so don't have time to read them. But I do have to end on a happy note. I got two quick headlines I'm just going to read out to you.
Good.
One is a Ukraine pilot said flying awesome F-16s is like upgrading from an old Nokia to an iPhone.
Oh, yeah.
And the last one I think you'll like, Dick. Canada ready to allocate funds for supply of ammunition to Ukraine from Czech Republic, Czechia.
So again, you got to say, like what Commander is saying, talk to your representatives. This isn't just an American thing. Up here, it makes a difference, and in all other countries. And that's why I always try to say, you got to do it from the local, regional, and national levels, because I don't know what your governments are called. I mean, from all over the place, right?
Yeah.
Now, we're marking 2 years of this invasion of Russia invading Ukraine. And don't let 2 years make it so that it gets a little bit dull in your ears, or that you're not, making sure that family members are keeping up. And, don't let people just go on to the shiny new object. You out there, even if you're not doing streams like us, your voice matters. Keep it in the forefront. Right?
Absolutely.
A huge thanks to our team. We have our team does so much for us in the background. It's not funny. Curating questions and news articles and helping me keep track of the super chats and all the shout outs and so on. CF Beauty, who is the Shills in the live chat there, she runs the teams, and we're lucky enough to have a really good one. So we'll shout them out here. We got BME, Catalan T, Shayna Caldwell, Crazy Cat One, and Allie. So a huge thanks to you guys, because otherwise, we'd be stumbling around like idiots. It's a big deal. So on that note, I think we're done, and we just got to remember, say it and say it and say it. Your contribution matters, whether it's keeping it in the public forefront of the mind. If it's $5 here and $10 here and so on and so forth, it matters. Keep it up. Let's do what we can. Let's hope it's not another 2 years.
Absolutely.
So good night, everybody. Oh, sorry, dude.
Good night.
Yeah.
I was gonna say we're gonna make sure that Trump never holds office again, and we're gonna hold the Biden administration accountable to make sure it's not 2 more years.
Please don't vote Trump, fellow babies. Please don't. Oh, for the love of God. Take care, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Goodbye.
Bye, everyone.
It's over. Go home. Go.